President Kamala Harris the best running mate for this president?
He thinks so, and that's what matters.
A few moments later.
Be very careful, President Biden, about getting rid of Kamala Harris because we will not support you.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
All right, guys, so we got to follow up on the story that I just did about Nancy Pelosi, who refused to outright endorse Kamala Harris as Biden's running mate or as VP. Now, in that video, I basically broke down why I thought that Nancy Pelosi was actually giving a more political answer, because I don't think that the plan for Kamala is to be Biden's VP. I think that the plan for her is actually to take Biden's place. And I feel that the things that Nancy Pelosi said basically confirmed my feelings about what the plan actually is, even though I do think that Democrats don't really like Kamala. I really do think that they probably don't want her to be president or VP to be able to ticket at all. But they know that, hey, Kamala probably has a better chance at this point than Joe because of Joe's age. And he's just clearly mentally incapable of being president and running against Trump and beating Trump. I think that they would rather roll the dice with cackling Kamala, even though her poll numbers are historically low as VP. They would rather roll the dice with her than Biden, right? That's just my opinion. I don't know. I could very well be wrong about it. But one of the reasons why I hold this opinion is because I don't see any scenario in which the Democrats would actually drop Kamala from the ticket, which is the natural conclusion that people are coming to based off some of the comments we've heard from people like Nancy Pelosi and Elizabeth Warren and some of the news stories we read about how, again, behind closed doors, you know, Democrats ain't really feeling Kamala like that, okay? Allegedly. But again, one of the reasons why I don't think that this is going to happen is because of this clip that I'm about to show you guys from The View, in which Sunny Hostin declares that if Joe Biden drops Kamala from the ticket, then black people are not going to vote for Joe. Take a look.
Just that war walker.
Yeah, but I have to say, Nancy Pelosi is incredibly politically astute, so I was a little surprised she didn't answer that question better. To me, that is a right out of the park for the Democrats to say, of course, she's a phenomenal vice president, they're our ticket. That waffling with all of the innuendo that's out there, the pieces that have been written saying that she's a lag on the ticket, that gets filled with fire. Because I know we have some caution over the polls, she's consistently lagged in approval behind Joe Biden. It's a fact. She polls lower than Pence did at this time. He's historically unfavorable. He's comparable to Jimmy Carter in the malaise era when he didn't win re-election. So I think Democrats' message, which is a smart one, is the future of the American Republic is on the line if it's against Donald Trump. But it's really hard to convince the public the oldest president in history and one of the most unpopular vice presidents is the strongest way to be.
He also was one of the most effective presidents we've had. This is what
Can I say this very quickly? Over the past 5 elections where you've had a Democrat win, they needed the black vote. 91% of African Americans voted for Biden and will continue to vote for Biden if Kamala is his running mate. I would be very careful, President Biden, about getting rid of Kamala Harris because we will not support you.
Wait a minute. Hold up. No, your opinion is valid and beautiful and all of that. But when was the last time you saw anybody get rid of a vice president?
Nobody does. That's the thing. It's a lot of Washington speculation.
No, it's not something you would do.
If it was Biden and Trump.
If Biden gets rid of Kamala Harris and inserts someone else, he will lose the black vote.
Even if it's another black woman like Val
We're
Demings
not interchangeable.
But regardless,
we're not interchangeable.
And no one's saying you are. You would vote in an election against Donald Trump and Joe Biden and a black woman. You wouldn't vote.
I think that but
I want to know the answer.
I don't want to white-splain, but you might be underestimating the black community voter.
I don't think I am.
You would really sit out and elect. You said I was throwing my vote away if I wrote in another Republican.
I don't.
But you're not throwing away your vote by not supporting Biden if he drops.
I'm sorry, y'all. She is not going anywhere. Let's start with that. So this is a lot of hypothetical BS meant to make your mind explode.
Wait, can I jump in here?
Take a breath.
That's why we chose the topic.
Let Sarah talk.
Okay, one thing I've been thinking a lot about is I wish we lived in a time where we could have fair criticisms of a president. I'm a fan of President Biden. I voted for him. Do I think he's the best ever? No. Vice President Harris, I have criticisms. Everyone, when we talk about that, are reduced to being a woman or being black, which I think there are conversations we can actually have about this. But right now, it's a privilege to discuss the alternative, which what I mean by that is if you are up against Donald Trump, Biden and Vice President Harris are my only option. And if we survived President Trump once, we can survive President Biden, Vice President Harris, and we will be fine. And then the election will end and the people will speak again.
There you go.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. There's just so much to talk about. Okay, I don't even know where to start. Okay, let me start with this. Let me start with Joy Behar. Okay, I want you guys, did you guys notice when Sunny declared that black people won't vote for Biden if Kamala is dropped from the ticket, that Joy Behar, in order to respond to Sunny, she says, well, I don't mean to white-splain you. I think that you're underestimating the black community. I think it's sad that we live in a time where white people are afraid, right, that they have to give some type of disclaimer or trigger warning and say that, hey, I, as a white person, I don't mean to, speak for the black community or to, say anything that might offend you as a black person because I'm white, right? And I got to make sure that, I'm on my tippy toes when I talk around you. Ain't it a shame that we live in that type of society, right? This is what white people feel like they got to do in order to disagree with black people, right? You got to say that, well, I don't mean the white splain. Amazing. Anyways, right? That's besides the point. Hey, I think that maybe Sunny is not necessarily underestimating black people. I just think that she doesn't know black people, right? Asuncion is half Latina, okay? And I don't really think she's all that connected with the community, right? So to speak. Okay, I don't really think she is, because if she was, she would understand that there are not black people that are lining up to vote for Kamala because she's black. Black people don't really F with Kamala like that, okay? I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I honestly think black people probably like Hillary better than they like Kamala, okay? I think I see more black support for Hillary than for Kamala, okay? Kamala is not somebody that black people think is authentically black, okay? I'm just saying, right? No matter how hard she tries to be, I just don't see her as that person where like black people like, oh, I'm going to be down. Now, again, there are some people like Charlemagne the God, for example, and maybe people like Sunny Hostin, maybe Roland Martin, these type of people, right? Yeah, they will come out here and say, you know what? We're not going to vote for Biden if you drop Kamala from the ticket, okay? But I don't really think those people are representative of black people, right? I don't think that they really represent how black people view Kamala. I think that those people are just mouthpieces for the Democrat Party. They come out here and they stomp for Kamala because she's black, right? But at the end of the day, I really think that her support is not all that strong, okay? I've never heard a black person come out here and be like, oh my God, but Kamala, right? We love Kamala, okay? Again, I've seen more support for Hillary among black people than Kamala. Again, I could be wrong, but I just don't think that Kamala moves the needle that much with black voters. Maybe she does. I don't know. But again, I mean, compared to her Obama's popularity with black people, she really lagging, right? I mean, Joe Biden apparently is more popular among black people than Kamala, okay? I'm just saying. So, I just personally don't think that Kamala is really that big of a deal, right? If Joe Biden replaces her with another black woman, if the whole point is to get the black vote, right? I don't think that Kamala really is a positive or a negative if your thesis is that, well, he just needs a black woman in place. Who's the right black woman? Again, I'm not sure if Kamala is the right or wrong one. But again, just the fact that we're even having this conversation, the fact that Sunny Hostin even said that tells you just how dumb these people think black people are. They really do think that black people are so stupid that you can just insert ex-black person into the position, okay, of VP or whatever, and black people gonna line up and vote because all black people care about is skin color, right? That is how unintelligent Democrats feel like black people are when it comes to voting. And I mean, hey, based off what we saw in Chicago with the election of Brandon Johnson, after Lightfoot, Yeah, I mean, hey, I kind of understand the Democrat line of thinking, okay, when it comes to black voters. I'm just keeping it 100. So then again, maybe Sunny Hostin is right. Maybe if Joe drops Kamala from the ticket, maybe black people won't vote for Joe Biden, okay, as revenge, okay? Again, you got people like Charlamagne the God who came out and admitted the only reason that he voted for Biden is because of Kamala, okay? So maybe I'm wrong, okay? But regardless, it's conversations like this that tell me that that's not going to happen, right? They're not going to drop Kamala as VP. It's too controversial, right? That will cause a lot of drama and backlash that Democrats don't want. That is the last conversation they want to be having, which is accusing Democrats of being racist from dropping Kamala from the ticket, okay? Can you guys imagine the woke revolutionaries and the outrage that would come from Biden, okay, a straight white man dropping Kamala from the ticket, right? They would be saying he's sexist, he's racist, you're trying to blame the country's problems on a black woman. Like, bro, but that's what happens, right? That's what happens when you're married to identity politics. You cannot, once you bring on a black person, you cannot, even if they're terrible, right? Even if their poll numbers are worse than, the president, you cannot fire them. You can't get rid of them, right? You can't blame them for anything, because if you do, then you're a bigot. Right? Again, that's the situation that Democrats find themselves in. So yeah, there's no way they're going to get rid of Kamala, even to replace her with another black woman, which again is so offensive to think about, right? How they think that black people are just replaceable. It tells you everything you need to know about why she was picked in the first place. She wasn't picked because of her qualifications. She was picked for nothing more except her genitalia and her skin color. Right? It's deeply offensive, right? It really is. Black people shouldn't be voting for this nonsense just based off the fact that they're telling you how dumb they think black people are. But then again, hey, black people go out and vote for it anyway. So, I mean, wait, it is what it is. But again, the saddest part about this conversation, in my opinion, is just how much panic these people are having at the idea of Trump being president again, which really blows my mind because the country was objectively in a better place under Trump, right? I don't understand why these people have such an outrageous case of Trump derangement syndrome where they will literally stomach another 4 years of the worst administration that we've seen in this country in a long time, okay? Maybe in the modern era, right? I think that Joe Biden is going to go down as one of the worst presidents we've had in a long time, okay? They're stomaching this. They're like, we're going to stomach this because we hate Trump that much. Again, it blows my mind. I just don't get it. I don't think I will ever understand these people and how they think. The Trump derangement syndrome in this country is out of control. It really is. And what I really don't like about this show is that there's not one Trump supporter on the panel. The so-called conservative Alyssa Fairgrill, she's like, oh, I just will sit out. I just won't vote for anybody. Right? Really? Again, it mind boggles me. It really does. You would rather vote for a person who's mentally not competent, who's mentally not capable of leading this country over somebody like Trump, who's clearly still mentally capable of leading the country, right? Who objectively, the country was in a better place under Trump. You'd rather vote for Biden than Trump. I don't understand. I don't get it, bro. I simply do not understand it. But then again, these people are rich, right? So for them, it doesn't really matter all that much, the state of the country, because, if crime is out of control, they can pay for their own security. They don't take public transportation. Inflation doesn't affect them as much because, again, they're rich. Right? They don't really have to deal with a border crisis because they, live in neighborhoods removed from this stuff, right? They will never put illegals in a rich person's neighborhood. Again, look at what happened when, DeSantis sent illegals to Martha's Vineyard. They got rid of the illegals quick, fast, in a hurry. These people don't have to deal with the ramifications of the Biden administration and their policy. So I kind of get it. But for people who are not elite, I simply do not understand anybody who is not a part of the elite deciding that, oh, well, I'd rather have Biden in office than Trump, right? Considering the state of the economy and the state of the country, under Trump. I will never get it. I really don't. These people really believe that Trump is an existential threat to this country. And I just don't believe that that's true. I don't believe that's true. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.